Last Thursday, a 16-year-old Santa Clarita junior and track team member arrived at school just before first period. Without warning, he reached into his backpack, pulled out a .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun, and rapidly shot 5 classmates, 2 of them fatally. Then he turned the gun on himself. It was his birthday, and he had just committed the 38th school shooting this year alone. Now, shortly before this tragedy, I was assigned to report on New York's Safe School Initiative. This gives school districts the tools to try and prevent and respond to active shooter attacks. It is just so sad that we have to prepare our children for these very real possibilities. In my report, I not only described the initiative, I gave students and their families the opportunity to publicly share their thoughts. Here's part of my report that aired. If you are willing to share your thoughts on this topic, please leave a comment. It's just so important. I've been assured that school boards will read them and take them to heart. Your input could save lives.
The chilling fact is that school shootings aren't new. In this country, they date back as far as 1764 with the Enoch Brown massacre. But despite 255 years of shootings, the fear that comes with each one never grows old.
It could happen anywhere, and I myself, as a parent of a teenager, I'm worried about it happening here. I feel like there's people out here that are trying to copycat things.
According to the FBI, active shooter attacks are still rare compared to other forms of gun violence, but they have increased since the turn of the century, with school shootings claiming more than 20.5% of them and incurring some of the greatest casualties. We've heard from officials about this, but now we're hearing from parents, grandparents, and students.
Nowadays it's happening, so we have to put that initiative to put it out there so that our children could understand and actually be safe.
Being a grandmother, is it scary to you to see some of the violence that's going on in the world, especially at these schools?
Well, of course it's scary, and we don't know what the future will bring, but we hope that we all have the feeling that there's a goodness in all of us, and that will portray strong.
The New York legislature has been proactive in protecting our children by providing SAVE, the Safe Schools Against Violence in Education Act. This gives schools the tools to develop safety plans, including training for students facing active shooter incidents.
I think it's great that they're just making these kids aware of what's going on out here in the world and taking preventative measures to make sure that tragedies don't continue to happen in our school system.
You want them to be protected, and I think that the city is aware of the growth that's going on, and I think that they are meeting all of these challenges, and I expect it to be a great environment for all of them to grow up in.
What is the importance of being prepared?
I think it's very important to be prepared, to have that knowledge, to be safe. I think it's a good thing.
I don't think we should have to live in a society where we have to train our kids to prevent from school shootings. The first couple times it scared me, and once we stop the bullying and the harassment, that's when everything else goes down. It's not good. You don't need to constantly harass people.
Separate studies by the FBI and the Secret Service reveal that an active shooter generally has a troubled mind and a desire for violence. When the target is a school, peers, teachers, and school staff are the most likely to notice these behaviors. Katherine Chloe Cahoon, Spectrum News.